Alright, so today we're going to be working on an iPhone 12 Pro. Customer states that the screen does not turn on. And if you look closely up at the top right here, you can see that the screen has been cracked. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to be replacing the screen. Starting off, you're going to need a special screwdriver for these bottom two screws. And once you get these out, you're going to need to set it down, let it heat up for a little bit. If you have a heat gun, apply heat gently. You don't want to destroy anything inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to start over here on the edge at the bottom of the screen. Just give it a little pry up. We're using something super thin. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Very thin. Probably a little bit better. Very thin. Just to get up under that edge. Kind of lift it up a little bit. Let's see if we can't get a pick up under there already. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the screen breaks, it's already busted. Let's get a pick in there. Just like that. And then you can start going around the edges. Get your fingernail under it if you've got fingernails. If not, you may want to put another pick in the end of it. Just like that. You can hear that screen cracking. It's because I didn't let it heat up enough. So if you're doing something besides a screen replacement, such as a battery replacement, and you're going to want to keep that screen, you want to let it heat up, or else that's going to happen right there. You're going to let it heat up really good. So you're going to wiggle it back and forth like that. Wiggle, wiggle, for that top to come loose. You're going to want to open the phone this direction, to the left hand side. And we're going to open this up just like that. Then you're going to need another special screwdriver, tri-wing. It's got 3 points. And the first thing you're going to want to do is unplug the battery. So the battery cable is underneath of this connector. How do you know? Well, if you just follow the cable from the battery like so. There's that battery cable. You just follow it up right there, and there it is. Plugs in right here. Unplug it. Now we're going to pop this first cable loose for the screen, or only. So these screens are super easy to replace. You don't have to peel off your speaker assembly or anything else that you would normally need to do for other iPhone models. Just set that to the side, and we're going to get out our 12 Pro screen replacement. And this this is not a 12. Is this a 12? Man, these look oddly different, but also similar. Let's compare. Is this the normal 12 or? Well, that's right. I think. Guess we'll find out. It's got these little notches up here. It tells me that something ain't right. See? This can't be a 12 Pro. Okay, so that's what the lady told me. And you know, with these phones, they're super hard to tell. This might just be a 13 Pro. That's what I'm starting to think. It is a 13 Pro, not a 12 Pro. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is a 12 Pro, but there is a reason for the discrepancy between the way the screens look. I just happened to look down and realize that the frame of this screen is still stuck inside of this. It just does not want to come out. Screws are out. You can see the screws are out. But the frame of this screen, however, does not want to come out. That's why it looks so different. I was thinking, what phone doesn't have this? And I was for sure it did, but I'm doing this a long time and I work on a lot of phones, so I could get confused. Alright, so look at that. This frame, that screen just kind of fell apart, it looks like. I thought it was too easy to get out, but could have been repaired before. And I was fairly certain that that camera and speaker have to be unplugged. That's what was really throwing me off. So we're just going to go ahead and undo these screws. That is so strange that it just fell apart like that. I wonder who repaired this phone last. That is a question I will be asking. I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm just curious myself. Because there's some other places nearby that don't do such a good job. I get a lot of rework from people because they bring things to me because they're just not done right. Now we got to figure out where this actually unplugs it. I believe it's here, but I'm not sure. Don't really want to pull up on this. Man, it's crazy. That is... You know, I haven't seen a screen do this since probably the iPhone 6. I've seen some of those screens, because some of those were just shoddy to begin with from the factory. But that one, it's definitely not from the factory. And I'll show you here in a second why. Alright, so I was right. That's the right one. I will show you why it's not a factory screen. Because factory screens don't have this MF22 and whatever this says on it. Not sure, but factory screen, this is not. That goes to the recycler. Alright, this may not be very simple. We're gonna unscrew this. Y'all just seen me have a slight heart attack there. I just couldn't figure out for the life of me what screen this was, or what phone this was, because there were no metal prongs that connect the screen to the phone. I had this on my new screen. It wasn't on the one I was taking off, and there was no screw holes. I was not in a good place there thinking about that. Like, did I take apart the phone not knowing if I had this screen in stock? Because I just don't do that. I always tell my customers, yes, I have it. No, I don't. It's on the way. Alright, so this is a little difficult. There's nothing really holding on to this to hold it up. So I'm just going to use my finger, and I need to get some heat under that. Let's get the edge of that. Ooh. There it is. Perfect. Wow. Just look at that. And you know what? It's not even sticky. So I don't know what was actually holding that screen in there. Doesn't seem like there's any glue or any adhesive. That is not a good quality screen replacement. So like I tell people, where you get your phone repaired at matters. If you like your device, then by all means do not take it somewhere that's gonna have shoddy screen work. I can't get this daggone sticker peeled back. Man, I'm afraid I'm going to break this screen. This is some strong plastic on the back here. Oof. Requires a delicate touch, that is for sure. Slowly peeling back. Bit at a time. Now I'm about this far down. I'm trying not to break this screen, because these OLEDs are super thin. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure you can, but that's not even the entire OLED. Let me show you. That is still not even the entire OLED, because you got this front glass piece, and that OLED is just this little piece right here. That's the OLED. That. So they are super fragile, super fragilistic. Just want to peel this off. Easy does it. Easy does it. Just like that. Okay. So Now that we got that off, we can get this back in. Oh, other way around. No, that was right. It was just flipped over. Okay. Line this up. Wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Don't want to push or shove. Just give them a gentle wiggle or push them with the spudger. If it doesn't go, pull it back out. Don't try to force it. There we go. Well, it's not gonna stay. Oh, that little black piece fell off of it. That's confusing me. So this probably is down in there. There. That's right. Little black piece was hanging off. It's just a little piece of tape or oh no, I got it up under my nail. Okay. Guess you can grab onto it with tweezers and pull it off, but it doesn't really work. So we're gonna flip this over and keeping that in place. Now we're gonna put the screws in the same order we took them out. This one on top. There we go. And we're gonna get this next one. Which goes right here. There's a little sliver of glass on it, and I want to make sure it didn't come from this screen. Fix a lot of phones, so you know I got slivers of glass laying around sometimes. You know, I think this has had it. I might need to grab me another one. It doesn't seem to want to screw them in properly. Oh, I got one around here somewhere. Alright. There we go. It was the screwdriver, folks. We'll deal with that here later. I'll toss that one or grind the end of it. Sometimes I'll just barely grind the tip to flatten it back out a little bit, because over time, just with any bit, they'll start to strip at the tip. And if you just take a little Dremel to it, it'll kind of flatten it back out. You don't want to do it too much. And no, it's not because I don't have tools. I have tons of tools. Look at this. I got a whole drawer just full of extra screwdrivers and stuff. But right now I'm not going to go digging around for one. I mean, I found this one luckily off the top. But I like this little small one. And I don't have many of those. Most of them are these big, huge ones. And I like that little small one. It works very well. Compact. Alright, let's get this screen back on. So we're gonna connect this camera and speaker assembly first. Be gentle until you hear a click sound, just like that. And then we're gonna pop these two back in. Hear that click, a little satisfying click sound. It was a tiny little click, and then, well, thank you, camera, for shutting off on me. That's great. And right as I was about to put this last screw in on this top piece, and then this one doesn't have one of the little hooks, just gonna have to hold it in place. And maneuver that plate over the holes, and we're in the home stretch with this last internal screw. Oh, can't get a bite on it. There it is. Let me get it past this side. Yeah, there's a still cancel, still functioning. I think I'm going to have to blur that out. There was definitely an email address popped up on the screen. But no big deal, no big deal. We'll get it blurred out. And there you have it, folks. iPhone 12 Pro screen replacement. And I would tell you how long it took me to do it, but since my video stopped recording, I can't just look up until the time. I would say probably 25 minutes, maybe. There we have it. iPhone 12 Pro screen replacement. Like and share. Thanks. I hope you get your stuff repaired.